Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passenger. It's July and plant and animal life are just going crazy. On this episode of Burning Bright, 4 poems about nature. Catherine Young worked as a national park ranger, a naturalist, farmer, and mother. She said, "Now I celebrate the broad landscape of relationships that comprise my own life. I see stone as fluid over the long run, and I am fascinated by the colors and patterns insects can see and perceive, which we cannot. For me, poetry is how I imagine the honeybee finds its way in, guided by coded grace." Catherine said her poem Panoramic was sparked by a line in Sharon Bryan's poem Foreseeing that says middle age refers to landscape more than time. From this view, this precious age as landscape seen from an eagle's lair, the lay of life is good, fulfilled. Every heartbeat, each purr the ears have known, every day whose light is scattered by clouds of every color, is a goblet brimful of rainbow, complemented with sparks and darkness both. In the course of eons, black coal transforms, hardens to diamond, reflecting each hue, tint, and tone. The palette brings multifaceted vision. Beyond this moment, this life, I wish to see how bees follow ley lines to the center, ovary deep, then out again, winging, warmed by solar rays, to follow paths scented with each other's passings in the buzz-filled air. Catherine Young's poem Panoramic, from Passenger, issue 66. Deborah Casillas spent time in Tepoztlan, Mexico, and said she saw more deeply every time she walked the cobbled streets, sat in open cafes, and watched the village life pass by. Here's Deborah's poem, Detail. This time I swear I'll touch everything I want. Stroke oranges clustered on a branch across the lawn, press bougainvillea's papery bracts against my cheek, caress the wing silk of a twittering unseen bird, distinguish flight feathers, savor the stiffness of every shaft. I'll run my fingers across a rough volcanic wall, know the pocked remnant of explosion embedded in mud and sand and ash. I'll dip my hand in dark water's stillness, reach for the iridescent shiver of a koi, walk cautiously on cobbled streets, feel step by step how each stone's bulge curves the bottom of my soles. I'll grasp sounds beyond the range my ears detect, cat's tongue lapping in the pond, paper lanterns tinsel-strung crinkling in the breeze, a hummingbird's blurred dive and whir, all the flowering singing world the swaths of light sun draws across each day. From Passenger, issue 69, Detail by Deborah Casillas. Robert Tremmel said his poem Landscape was inspired by a passage from Shunryu Suzuki's Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, about the impossibility, the utter futility, of trying to control others. He said the poem's also about the quiet wisdom of cattle. In the chaos of earth and sky, the wandering steer of the empty field is the only constant. Each morning at dawn, the steer orients each leaf of grass and frazzled flower, first to itself, and then to the sun, wind, and each evening locates the exact spot the moon will rise and the North Star wheel the myriad seeds of light. And even though it is popular these days to believe the steer is God, the fence posts reveal nothing, and the barbed wire, decorated with tufts of hair and tiny points of dried blood, sings only of itself, and only when the wind blows. Robert Tremmel's poem Landscape, from the Winter 25 issue of Passenger. Sometimes nature calls attention to itself. Other times, just the opposite. J.I. Kleinberg said that ever since she was a child, she wanted to be invisible. She said, when others wanted to fly or to be giants or to live forever, I wanted to be able to vanish from sight, yet remain in the world. Here's her poem, To Be Unseen. The urge to invisibility began early, before words, curled deep into shadows until hidden became habit. To be small and unseen, silent, unnoticed in the way of fawn and leveret, of pale daytime moon. To understand the flattening that allows the wind to pass over, held breath, undetected by the wolf. But the fawn flicks its ear, the moon fattens, the shadows fade, the kitten mews. Some acute angle of light picks out silhouette, nose twitch, rib cage rise and fall of sleep. The rabbit stands motionless, black liquid eye seeing but still, grass spiking from its mouth mid-chew, muscles coiled, sensing the cost of being seen. The way shadow can turn from refuge to peril, tenderness to talon, soothe to slap. The way a moment of inattention cannot be undone. From Passager's 2024 Poetry Contest issue, To Be Unseen, J.I. Kleinberg. To subscribe to, donate to, or learn more about Passager and its commitment to older writers, visit PassagerBooks.com. Passager offers a 25% discount on the books and journal issues featured here on Burning Bright. Visit our website to see what's on sale this week. For Christine, Roseanne, Mary, and the rest of the Passager staff, this is John Shore.